Welcome to this special episode at Token 2049 here in Dubai. I'm joined by Kamal Youssefi, the president of the Hashgraph Association, to talk about all the latest developments going on within the Hedera and Hashgraph ecosystem. Kamal, welcome to Crypto Weekly.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you for having me.
What is the biggest challenge when, let's say, you're doing education, and how do you convince, let's say, show to whether it's academic institutions or corporations the benefits of Hedera Hashgraph versus other layer ones that they can use?
Yeah, in general, to start with, Hedera is a DLT, and blockchain is a subset of DLT technologies.
Very interesting technical point that very few people know, actually.
Yes, indeed. So many people kind of confuse things between DLT and blockchain. The main challenges that we have faced 4 years ago, it was regulation, but it was because of lack of understanding of how the technology works. I still remember my initial conversations back in 2016, 17, 18, and 19. When you talk about blockchain, people kind of mix that up with Bitcoin and crypto. And I used to explain it like blockchain is the underlying technology and Bitcoin and other digital assets or crypto assets are the application layer of it. So if I may summarize that is, it was mainly around education awareness. And that's why when we started our enablement and empowerment programs, we said one of the core components is education. If people don't understand the technology, they will never use it. And then we moved to the next stage where we said, well, now we need to identify different use cases covering digital identity, secure wallets, solutions for sustainability, on-chain finance, real-world asset tokenization platforms. Basically a full-fledged package, or let's say a technology stack, to provide a turnkey solution for enterprises and startups so that they can have a successful and smooth implementation of their use cases. Then the third phase, we realized, okay, now we started with education, then we moved to enablement and empowerment. Then we said, now we still need some sort of funding so that we can help these startups succeed in their scale-up plans. So that's why we established, that's the reason why we established the venture capital fund out of ADGM in Abu Dhabi. It's a $100 million fund dedicated exclusively for all the startups that have successfully completed the innovation program, which is the grant program. And now they are in a stage where they need to scale up and provide solutions for the industry.
Using Hedera Hashgraph.
Leveraging Hedera Hashgraph. And then we came up also to the idea of establishing something that we call right now the Enterprise Venture Studio. So we realized that it's not that easy, and startups, most of the time, they are more agile than enterprises when it comes to technology adoption. So we started with a hidden pillar, or like the fifth pillar within our organization, which is cross-pollination. Basically, we pick up one enterprise that is interested in starting the transition from a Web2 organization to a Web3 organization, but we realize it might take years till you build that solution needed for that enterprise. But what we do is we pick up a startup that has already implemented a solution on Hedera, and we kind of connect them, and then we position that startup that is anyway building on Hedera to serve the business needs for that enterprise. So that's something that we kind of...
Just on that point, I mean, what is the biggest challenge you're seeing for this enterprise adoption that are going in? Of course, giving grants to startups is great, and there's cross-pollination help, but what is the biggest challenge you're seeing with these enterprises that are trying to deal with DLT?
When it comes to enterprises, for sure, you have to manage a couple of, or it's a bunch of expectations. So you are dealing with the CTO who has a legacy system that he has to take care of, and you need to find a way how can you integrate, let's say, Hedera-based solutions with their core banking systems or with their legacy systems, and you need to find a way how you kind of work around it. Then you have the chief risk officer, who is kind of, for him, is like blockchain or DLT equals crypto, and then that's something that you need to kind of provide educational programs and then help them with different working sessions, workshops, and executive training so that they can understand the value add of the technology. And then last but not least, you have the chief commercial officer. The chief commercial officer is for sure is supporting innovation and disruption, but he still needs to understand how the organization is going to make money out of it or reduce costs. And the biggest supporter most of the time is the chief innovation officer, because they see the value, but you still need to orchestrate all these four profiles within the organization.
That's never an easy task from that perspective.
No, it's not easy, but our biggest ally in the organization is usually the chief innovation officer, but we still need to manage the expectations of the chief risk officer, the chief technology officer, and the chief commercial officer. But that's where we bring also our value, because we have a dedicated team for enterprises. seasoned experts that have supported highly regulated organizations to build digital asset solutions. And we help them not only from an engineering perspective or from a strategy perspective, but also from project funding all the way up to the go-to-market strategy.
So I think that's going to be for interesting couple of discussions with these enterprise clients you'll get. Thank you for being with us. This was Kamal Youssefi, the president of the Hashgraph Association.
Thank you
for being with us here in Dubai.
Thank you. This is my pleasure.
Are your children prepared for the future of money? Order Decoding Crypto with Henry and Hodler, the #1 new release kids book on Amazon.